Okay, so this is the period from May 28th for the next 7 to 10 days after that. Okay. So even though people seem to be a bit more visible now, there's still this feeling that they're a bit either aloof or part of them is they just don't seem totally present. However, even though that's the case, their thinking should be pretty sharp. Um, it's also a time where I would say that the last week where you were working out what's inspiring you, what motivates you, what drives you, I think you're fairly close to kind of you're done with the kind of idealizing side of it. And then after that, what you do is just stop thinking about it. Don't act on it yet. Just stop thinking about it. So let it percolate a little bit. So then you'll make even better connections because then you'll see things that you actually haven't thought of. So it's an interesting way of approaching a solution to a problem is you think about it first. You think about what would be nice, what would be interesting, what would you like to do? Work out your motivation, how it would work. And then you take about, let's say, as much as you like, but I would say probably at least a couple of days, 10 days is better. And don't do anything about it. And then just note the connections that you make because that's allowing your unconscious, subconscious, or intuitive mind to come up with solutions. And you'll find that you'll come up with better solutions. Now, this only works when you've got a bit of leeway. So it is one of those techniques that you can incorporate into other areas of your life. So that's just a little bit of an aside. Okay. It's also a really good time. It's a really good recuperation time. But I would say it's more about internal hurts. You may also find that emotional pains from the past are very visible, or you're seeing them a lot more clearly now, or you're becoming a bit more nostalgic or thinking about things that haven't quite worked out, or where you might have been on the short end of the stick or feeling like you've been victimized. Okay. And there'll be a bit of focus where you'll be very clear that you want to move forward, but it doesn't seem to be with actual plans. I would say you'd have a lot better. It's a lot easier for you to plan your vacation than to plan what you're doing with work or in the other areas of your life that require attention. Okay. And look, I'm just saying that to you so that you don't kind of beat yourself up because this isn't a really active external month, ironically for Gemini. Okay. It's also a good time if you haven't just to keep a journal or even just look back at some of the things that you've written in your journal. And if you don't have a journal, even if you go back and look through some of your old either emails, text messages, anything where you've got some record of a conversation with someone else, or even notes to yourself, I think that'll actually be quite illuminating. This one I'm not as certain about. I'm quite hesitant to make it, but I'll say it anyway. Is there may be a woman visiting you or a person that has kind of maternal qualities, and they should be showing up. Let's see. Okay. You would have had a visit within the last month and a half. So if you've missed your visit or you've had to cancel, reschedule it. Oh, and I should also say Happy Mother's Day to upcoming mothers. Happy Mother's Day to mothers. Sorry. Um, what is ironic about this Gemini season is I would say that if you have Pisces strong in your chart, or if you have planets in Pisces, or a strong Neptunian aspect, those aren't interchangeable, but there's a bit of overlap now because Neptune is in Pisces. So if you do have Neptune configurations in your chart, you'll actually find that you're actually going a bit faster. So usually Pisces and Neptune isn't the most direct sign or the most direct planet. It's a bit foggy, it's a bit indirect, but you'll find that this season suits you perfectly. So the whole fogginess thing it really sharpens your intuition or your feelings about things. So it's actually better for Pisces Neptune than it is for Mercury Gemini. Okay. The other sign I'd say it's also really good for is planning Taurians, Taurians that plan, and anyone that's quite introspective and does like to take some time to think about what they're doing or where they're going. It's a really good time for you. It's a really good time for you, and you really want to capitalize, um, especially from May 28th for the next 7 to 10 days.